So with Christmas rapidly approaching, I wanted to throw some Christmas stuff out there, but I don't think that anything else is going to be as worthwhile as this. I am part of a campaign called 12 Days for Good, and it's really just about doing one good thing a day for someone else or for the community for 12 days. And I happen to be part of this group of total rock stars in our community, 12 people who are doing awesome things every day for 12 days. I don't know how I ended up in this group of really cool people, but here we go. So I wanted to share with you what my first day of 12 Days for Good was all about. About a year and a half ago, I met this absolutely insanely incredible woman. I started out being her mentor, actually, which is kind of interesting because she's way cooler than I am, I think, and she has some really interesting challenges. She came from a situation of family violence, and as if that weren't enough, she also has 3 kids, and I've got 3 kids, so man, I know that that alone is like, that's challenging. And one of her children has special needs, so that kind of makes life interesting as well. But she's also from Eritrea, and if you don't know where Eritrea is, it's basically a little sliver of a country that's beside Ethiopia, and there's a really interesting history there. It fought a really bloody war for its independence from Ethiopia, and basically young people are forced to go into the army there to defend Eritrea from everybody from the world. So not a whole lot of people love to stay there. It's not a great place. It's actually kind of become known as the new North Korea, so not always the nicest place for everybody, but so they're here now, and she doesn't speak a lot of English. She didn't speak very much English at all when I met her. She's become pretty fluent, but not completely fluent. And over the course of the past year and a half, I've just been so angered so many times at how I'm going to get emotional talking about it, because it's just very frustrating and upsetting the way that people talk to individuals who don't speak English very well, or who don't speak English at all. Just doing simple things like trying to understand your mail or calling into the phone company and things like that. People don't want to deal with you. They don't want to take the time. They've got a job to do and they're on a deadline and blah 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 blah. So they don't really want to invest the time in trying to understand people who may not speak the language very well. There's a lot of intolerance and even at just a basic level, just, impatience. And I see that, and I've had to do, beyond those telephone calls with her to the government and to telephone companies and all of that stuff, and filling out forms. And you just can't imagine, how much harder life is when you have that kind of a barrier, those obstacles. And she just totally tackles it. She's learning how to speak English, and she works so hard to take care of her family. She's such an inspiration to me. And recently her brother died, and her brother's back home living with her mom in Eritrea, and so she wanted to bring her mom here. She's really missing her mom and wants to support her and be there for her. And the process of bringing someone over to visit is not so easy. So she went out and got some information about it, and she's really good at advocating for herself. So she's a firecracker. She goes out and she gets the information that she needs, and it's a bit of a process. And so it's something that I've decided to sort of help her with, and done some research too, to make sure that she's getting good information, and that people aren't just trying to pass her off on someone else, which happens a lot. So, I was driving around yesterday trying to get information from the Multicultural Center, and our local Multicultural Center, they're incredible, incredible people. I just have to say that. They're absolutely amazing. They're a fantastic resource, and they were so helpful. So, I've gathered up all of this information and called different places and went to visit her and explained everything to her, and made sure that, we're gathering all of these pieces of information so that she can have her mom here, and they can grieve and deal with the loss of a family member together. And when I sat down, I was, you know, very stern about getting through this without crying, but this woman is just such an inspiration to me. She deals with so much and so gracefully and so well with so much good humor. And so my little good thing for the day yesterday, on my first day of 12 Days for Good, was to help out someone, a new citizen who needed a little bit of assistance to make sure that they could be with their family in a time of need. So something as little as that can make a huge difference in someone else's life and in their world. So I would encourage you to check out the House of Friendship. I'm going to put the information in the links below, so please go over and have a look at what 12 Days for Good is all about. Join me in it, and come follow me on Twitter and tweet about what you're doing that makes life a little bit better for somebody else or in your community. I would love to hear from you, and thanks so much for watching this. I'm on my way to the food bank, so I'm going to tell you about that a little later, okay?